Hi, welcome to my channel, Buddy in the Kitchen. Today we're making green chili pork and green chili cheese fries. So let's get started. Okay, so the list of ingredients you'll need for the chili are 3 pork chops, bone-in or boneless, cut into cubes or shredded, 6 hatch green chilies, charred, peeled, and chopped, olive oil, flour, garlic salt, pepper, 4 cups of warm water. Usually at the end of August, we get our hatch green chili roasted at our favorite chili roaster, which is Rosales here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so they char it for us, and then we come home and we let it cool down, and then I put it in little Ziploc bags and put it in my freezer. So my mom's friends, they all peel them and put them in little Ziplocs, but that's a lot of work because we usually buy, I want to say, we make about 80 bags, at least 80 bags of green chili. So that lasts us through to the next summer, the end of the summer when they are harvested. So then what we do is what Ollie's doing right now is she is chopping them. So she's peeled them and now she's chopping them, and we use them for all sorts of different things, from making chili to we eat that chopped chili just like it is on sandwiches or in any kind of recipe. Like I put it in my soups, I put it in just my mashed potatoes chopped like this, or we make the chili and pour it on top like a gravy. There's just so many things you can do with chopped green chili. So that's what she's doing, and then she's mixing it in with some garlic salt to save for later in the week because we're only going to use part of this for this recipe. Okay, so next I am just cooking up some pork chops. You can use boneless or bone-in, it really doesn't matter. I start off with heating up the pan to where it's hot and sizzling so that I pour the olive oil in there. I add salt and pepper to the pork chops and I let them cook, and periodically I will add more olive oil, because what I like to do is have the drippings from the pork chops to save to make the chili with, because it just adds so much more flavor and color to your chili, and I feel like that's really important. So I'm just letting this cook, and you'll see a little video just to keep you entertained. That's little Buddy meeting his new cousin, Bojack, the little black dog, and they're adorable. So I'm turning the meat just so you can see that I like to cook it fairly brown so that also it kind of sticks to the pan a little bit. Again, because the drippings with the pieces of pork chop attached to the pan just really adds that flavor. And then I let it cook a little bit longer, covered, so that it gets the middle cooked as well. You don't have to cook the meat till it's not pink, but I prefer all my meat not pink. So, and it does cook more in when you're heating up the chili, when you're cooking the chili. So if it's a little bit pink, it's fine because it will finish cooking in the chili. And I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the pan with the pork chops, because if you try to use a utensil of any kind, it kind of sticks to the utensil. This way it either sticks to the pork chop or it sticks, stays in the pan a little bit. And I am just setting it aside so it doesn't continue to cook. So next I'm just chopping up the pork chops into about 1/2-inch cubes. I've cooked several pork chops and I won't be using them all for this recipe, but I save them in my fridge just to have for other recipes that I'm using. And we use them throughout the week if I don't use them for the chili. And Buddy has no clue that I'm not feeding him pork chops. When I give him a piece of ice, he just loves it, chomps it, and thinks he's getting something special. Don't you, Bud? And so now I'm finishing up, and like I said, we're just going to set these aside for when I need them to put into the chili. All right. Okay, so now I am adding just the rest of the drippings that were in the on the plate of the pork chops to my drippings that are in the pan. A little bit more olive oil. Just showing you how much, I have in there so far. And kind of scraping around the little drippings so I get plenty of the flavor. Add a little bit more olive oil. Just trying to give you a sense of how much is in there. Because I really don't measure. I just go by look and texture and consistency. So I added a little bit of flour. And I use a whisk to get the, little lumps and stuff out. This is a really handy tool gadget for me. One of my favorites as far as the utensils go. And do you see the pretty color it is? And that's from the drippings. If I didn't have the drippings in there, it would just be a pasty white with the flour and the oil. So I really love the flavor and the color that it brings from the drippings. So I'm just adding a little bit more flour. And if you add too much flour, it's fine. You just add a little bit more olive oil. But I'm adding the garlic salt and pepper. Stir that around. Just letting it cook just a little bit. Now we're adding the water a little at a time. I have 4 cups of warm water handy just in case I need that much, but I usually only need maybe 2 to 2.5 cups. So again, it's just the texture, and it gets really thick quickly. So as this is cooking, it's on probably high, turning it to high, and see how thick it gets real fast. So you just kind of stir that around, getting all the lumps out, and then add a little bit more water, a little bit at a time. You don't want to add too much because then it's going to be really thin and you won't be able to correct that. At least I don't know how to correct it once there's too much water. So just a little bit at a time, stirring it in with the whisk, trying to get the lumps out again. And next we're adding the green chili. And I add maybe, you'll see, but it's just maybe 3 tablespoons. I don't know. I can't really tell because it's not, I just go by look, like I said. And just stir that around, get it all throughout the rest of the gravy. You can add as much as you like. It depends on how spicy it is. We got the extra hot from Rosales this year. And so I don't always add too much because not everybody likes that spicy where it really burns. And so we kind of mixed ours. And I added the pork just now. But we mixed our bags this year. Like we got an extra and... Wait, we got an extra hot and an extra hot. I don't think there were any more triple extra hots left this year. When we got there anyway. But see, that's a nice consistency for the thickness. I really like that. And I might add a little bit more because it does cook down a little bit it thickens up a little bit as you're cooking. And it's always fine to add, just like I said, a little bit of water at a time till you get it the way you like it. And this is going over chili cheese fries today. So I like it a tiny bit thinner so that I'll probably add a tiny bit more water so that there's plenty for everybody's chili cheese fries that we're making tonight. And I think that I'm just letting it cook a little bit so that it mixes in well and the flavors kind of cook in together and kind of steep together a little bit. You can see it got pretty thick as it was cooking. So there I go, adding a little bit more water. I always seem to add a little bit more water, and you can add more water as you're, let's say you're into your third batch of green chili fries, because I make them individually. So, you may need to add a little bit more water and heat it up a little bit as you go along, because you may be running out as you're pouring it all over the other batch of chili cheese fries. So, but that's a pretty good consistency right there. These are just a few ideas of things you can pour this chili on top of. So all you'll need is chili, fries, cheese, and onions. Using my air fryer to make my French fries. They make them nice and crisp on the outside and tender on the inside kind of thing, which I love. I'm just making a little batch right now because I just wanted to show y'all how to make it, and then I'll be making the rest of them tonight when people get home from work. You set the temperature at 400 for 10 minutes. It will ding when it goes off. And here I've moved the chili over just to get my preparation ready. And there's all the doggies. Just wanted to see what's going on. And so you'll see the chili, the cheese, the plate, the onions, the dogs. Always the dogs. And they're ready. So I'm going to take a little bit out at a time. They're hot, so I'm going to use my tongs. Probably should have gotten a spatula or something to get them out a little bit easier, but just going to do a little bit more. Here we go. And you just pour some chili, just as much as you like. Go nuts. I do have to save some for everybody else. And there's your cheese. I use Colby Jack cheese, and that's the fine shredded. Onions. Going to pass it over to Olia so she can put it in the oven. I mean, it's not the oven, it's a microwave for 1 minute, and it's done. There we have them. Don't they look delicious? Oh, can't wait. Hope you enjoy. They just look too delicious. Hot. Hot but delicious.